All right, folks. Well, I just spat on my monitor. I don't know why I do that. I try to like start the intro being super jazzed, and then it just yields in spit flying. So I should just not be super. I should be like, welcome back to expectation versus reality. You expected an exciting intro. Instead, you get this. I also have a canker sore in my mouth, on my tongue. It's the worst. I want to be able to eat without it hurting, and I can't do that right now. And also, it really kind of slightly impacts my speech. Talking normally, this is kind of painful. If I wanted to not make it painful, I can talk like this. Look like a 3-year-old hiding at the seller's Etsy store. I'm done buying covers on Etsy. I paid $125 for what I thought was the first picture. What I received is the second. It doesn't look that different. I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, a little bit more of 100% color coverage on the background, but the trees look the same. The stars look the same. The parts that all are colored kind of look the same. I apologize, but I just don't think the first one looks very good, and it kind of looks like you got what you ordered. Unpopular opinion, but that's my take on it. Can't say I've eaten fries that were burnt and undercooked at the same time before. Guess that's what you get for $2. Burnt and undercooked simultaneously. Zappums. Well, you see, your problem here is you bought something named Zappums. Like, hey, maybe Zappums are really good, but there's something about that branding that doesn't make me think food in my stomach. For the sake of, I don't want there to be any slander here. Zappums might be great. I've never tried it. This is all pure speculation. Zappums could be utterly delicious, but also I don't know what's going on there. But at least the nugs look like nugs. Also, the plating on this one, I wouldn't serve this in a restaurant with that kind of plating. So, anyway, presentation also does matter, and this makes it look not as good. This baby carrot. Hey man, you're getting more than what you paid for. Rather than you having to take several trips into the bag with your hand, you just get to pick out one big carrot. You get to munch on it for a while. You get to Bugs Bunny it up. Who doesn't want to recreate Bugs Bunny, okay? But you didn't want to go out and get like a massive raw carrot that you have to deal with washing off and all that. You just wanted to get the ones that are kind of pre-done. But now you get the best of both worlds. You get to save a few trips, you get your vitamins, you get your fiber, whatever you got in here in a carrot. You get to see better, even though that's a myth or something like that. Someone's told me. I prefer this. You hit the lottery. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a golden ticket. You find a carrot longer than such and such, and you get to come to the factory and get a tour. Dunkin' Donuts Cosmic Candy Donut. Now, see, I think the problem here is, are those nerds? Because I think the problem here is that attempting to make nerds stick to glaze on a donut just seems like a really difficult task to do successfully. And as soon as you put that in a bag, it's all just gonna come off. Like, I think the only way to make that work is that you have to get it and eat it at the store. Yeah, but there's no way in a bag or a box with other donuts. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's just not. So I get the it probably looked like this at the store, and then you got home and you're like, oh, that didn't work at all. Even though there seemed like a couple fell off there and there. Maybe it didn't have too much on it, but it's still a donut, dude. It probably tastes real good. I'm not gonna lie. Japan. I'm not the first to notice this, but dang, the menus are accurate here. I feel like there's a little bit of confirmation bias going on with the posts here. That's not to say that you can't find. Obviously, you can find dishes in Japan that are extremely accurate to the images on the menu. But I would argue you can also find plenty of places in the US where what you get is accurate to what is displayed on the menu. Also, I feel like there's just a lot of restaurants in the US that don't include pictures of food. I don't know why it is, but having photos in your menu, at least in the US, is seen as like a kind of budget, not gourmet establishment. Like if the food items are not flat dollar amounts, if you have pictures in your menu, there are these little subtle things that if you haven't paid attention to it before, you'll notice that the super high fancy establishments that are really expensive donut point 99s, no images. It's just, yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Confirmation bias is what I think is going on here. But still, looks nice, looks accurate to the menu, and that's good stuff. This cake. Oh, God. Oh, no. I'm beyond pissed. She messed up my cake, and I'm talking about no refunds. Bitch, please. Not good morning. I specifically asked, and you said, yes, you can do this. What happened to the neck? What happened to the neck? Wearing some, like, battle armor, and then there's just a head popping out of it, and then why are the arms like little friggin' toothpick things? It's Jabba the Hutt. You made Jabba the Hutt. Sorry this didn't turn out well for you, but I feel like you could just, maybe you paid in advance, in which case, yeah, that's a bummer. But you should have done like a half now, half later, at least to leave some motivation for the person to fix it if they completely screwed up like this. So I wish you the best. When someone offers to send you a duck pic, expectations, reality, okay. I've never been in this situation before. I have a very strict no duck pic policy. That's the thing that has always struck me as so weird, that it's just, I don't think anyone wants to see that. And everyone I've ever talked to is sort of shares that sentiment, who has been on the receiving end. It's like, yes, I'm sure that if you're in a relationship and someone says, hey, can you send me a picture of your duck? Then you might go out to your farm or your pond and you might take a photo of a duck and send it to them. But otherwise, they're gonna be like, why did you bother going out to your pond and taking a picture of a duck and sending it to me? I didn't want that. And I'm very not into it. Never understood that. But anywho, what you think you look like when you hit on someone versus reality. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think I always look like the one on the right. So, you know, one day maybe that. We'll see. Even though there's just the weirdest scene ever. I felt a little bit just squirmy in my seat when it's just him. This isn't a spoiler to the show. This is Stranger Things if you haven't seen it. There's just a scene where he is talking to one of the other kids' moms, and there's just this like sexual tension undertone, and like it's well acted that they were able to create that, but I'm just like, this is so weird, because he's supposed to be like 16 in the show, 16 or 17 or something like that, and she's like and it's it's weird. Lava flows in Hawaii. What people imagine the Hawaii lava flows look like, what the Hawaii lava flows actually look like. I mean, it's still kind of a scary thing. I don't know if downplaying the issue is really the best approach, because you don't want people to then just be like, all right, I'm gonna go really close and do unsafe things, right? So there are people who have, like, there are structures that have been lost, right? And damage has been done. I'm sure that for some people they're like, wow, that's not cool that you're downplaying the severity of the situation that's really dramatically impacting my life. Yeah, I mean, yes, obviously the entire island is not covered in lava, but still, trying to look nice as a wedding guest. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He looks totally fine. Isn't that the CEO of Reddit? That's Alexis Ohanian, right? Yeah, that's Serena Williams. They're married and they have a kid. I mean, not everyone's gonna look like David Beckham, okay? I think most people realize that they don't look like David Beckham. It looks perfectly presentable. I don't know it's wrong. It's being like, you, average person over there, versus whoever the most attractive male model is that you can put next to you. You don't look like him. Did you know that you don't look like a male model, former athlete? Did you know that? I'm like, yeah, I knew. Thanks for like really rubbing it in. I appreciate it. But not all of us hit the genetic lottery. Like, damn. These cat socks. I wonder if that's actually what it looks like before you put it on, and then it just stretches into this gremlin looking thing. Also, it looks like the sock is a little bit twisted, right? Like that, I don't know what's going on with your foot there or why the thing is bulging, but maybe you stretched it a little bit just for the sake of making it look more like a gremlin. Oh, the non-edited version is much funny. So this has some editing. Never believe the internet. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Thanks, internet. Expectation versus reality. I expect to go on the subreddit and get some quality, real content. Instead, we get Photoshop morphs. I was like, this doesn't seem... What kind of leg is doing this? Well, it's not. There we go. That's more realistic. Thank you. Thank you, commenter, for saving the day. But, okay. Ask groomer to shave a heart on my dog's butt. What I expected versus what I got. Well, the problem is I guess you didn't show the groomer a reference image, and so the groomer thought that the butt should be negative space, whereas you wanted the butt to be positive space with extra hair. So you really did get what you asked for. You just needed to provide more details. I mean, if you provided a photo and then the groomer did that, then yeah, it's a bit of a lazy job. But if you didn't, and you're just like, can you put a butt on my dog's, can you put a heart on my dog, can you put a butt on my dog's butt? Can you put a heart on my dog's butt? That's exactly what I would think. But all right, I have these clippers. I can just, boom, heart, done. There's a heart on your butt. It's like, oh, that's, whoops, I should have specified more. Band-Aid really nailed this one. Band-Aid. You can, ultra durable. You can't, it'll just deflect nails. Yeah, you guys think that you need to wear these bulletproof vests made of Kevlar? Psh, you crazy? All you need to do is cover your t-shirts in Band-Aids, and then you'll never be able to, someone tries to hammer a nail or just take a nail gun, that nail is gonna just bend and deflect. I'm glad someone went and did this though. What an image. Like, how do we show people that our Band-Aids are durable? Oh, I know. We'll show a nail bending when it's trying to get hit through, because that's what'll happen. That seems like good advertising. Beach day. Beach day. Psych. Never believe what you see on the internet. You know, people can fake things all the time. It's a very convincing photograph, though. I wonder if I could, like, recreate that with something around my house. I could take a... No. I don't have any artwork that looks, like, realistic or photos or anything like that. So, that's so true. Reality. I'm not sure, is this social commentary that, like, you think when you graduate school you're going to get a good career and instead you end at McDonald's? Or is it that you're looking at someone and you think that they have a college degree and a bunch of stuff, but in fact they don't and they work at McDonald's? I'm trying to get actually what they're alluding to. And I don't fully understand. It's like you initially think when it's blurry that it's a college graduation cap, but then it's McDonald's. I assume it's like a social commentary that it's difficult to get a job out of college. But I'm not entirely sure if I'm understanding properly. But apparently I'm really behind the times because a solid 16,000 to 17,000 people have upvoted it and apparently are more understanding than I am. So good on you guys, because you actually got your college education, I'm assuming, and I dropped out. What you think you look like when you're caught staring at someone versus reality. I'm gonna be totally honest. If I'm caught staring at someone, I definitely don't think I look like guy on the left. I don't know who thinks they look like guy on the left when they're caught staring at someone, but I don't even think I look like that. I think I just look like... No, I swear I wasn't looking. Why is it, though, that every time you look at someone, within like 2 seconds, it could be just an auditorium of people, and 2 seconds after you look at someone, they always look at you? What is it? Do people have an ability to sense when people are looking at them? I don't know. I don't have it, because I'm never looking over at someone and catch them looking at me. Never happens. That's not, and this one, I was talking about confirmation bias earlier. This is not confirmation bias. This is a real, 100% real. 2 seconds later. Happens all the time. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Sometimes you just want to people watch, and I can't people watch because they look at me and they know. God damn, and I definitely don't look like, and that would also be creepy too. Because what are you gonna do? You're gonna commit, you're gonna double down, then you're not gonna look like that guy. Then you're just gonna look like a creepy dude who's doubling down on the staring, and then the other person's gonna be like, what the hell is your problem? This is not real. No. A Texas-sized disappointment. Oh, dude, yeah, that really does suck. You know, I'll say that at least when it comes to the restaurants that have pictures on like Postmates and Uber Eats and stuff, I've always found that I've gotten pretty lucky with things turning out as expected. And I definitely wouldn't order from a place if the image looked like that and then I got that. But most of them are not really chains, and so they've taken their own photos of dishes they've made themselves. They're really good photos though for the most part, so it's kind of impressive. And usually the stuff turns out looking like you expect it to, and it's good. You could probably take that back and be like, do you see this? Do you see your promotional photo? Because this looks like you gave me a bun that has some sauce in it. That shows that there's protein in there. Do you see what's going on? Thank you. I will take more protein. Thank you. Anyway, that's going to do it for the last month of expectation versus reality. I hope you expected to have a good experience coming in here and that was your reality. And if so, make sure to like. Subscribe if you're not already. If you want to make monetize again, there's a link in the description. You should pick one up for yourself today and no later. And that's it. I'll see you next time.